Hello friends, welcome back to some more Olympus Chosen. So the vote went out, and I apologize if you couldn't find the vote, the poll. Unfortunately, I can't connect the video to the poll. It's kind of off on its own, and it's under my community tab. So if you go to my channel, there's some tabs on the top. One of them says community, and there you can find where I'll be posting the polls in the future. However, I believe the community tab is still kind of being worked on because I can't seem to find it on my tablet or iPad. The vote was cast and a clear winner came back, although it seemed like it was tight for a little bit. But it says to go back to Gloomhaven and to take on the Frozen Hollow, where we're going to find an Aesther for some help. And that was kind of what I wanted to do, though I couldn't cast a vote either. So we'll go back to Gloomhaven. And what this means is in the future, when we do take on the plane of elemental power, then we will have to draw a road event. That's basically what we've lost out here. So, okay. Well, I think the first thing we should do is check out the city encounter since you're here. Occasionally, your dealings in town lead you past the bustling docks. All conversation gets drowned out by the constant din of loading and unloading cargo and crew. This makes it all the more surprising when you hear a voice above the noise directed straight at you. Oi! You with the hard looks and big arms. I desperately need some help over here. Spare a few minutes to help make sure I get out of port on time? Otherwise, I'll be stuck here until tomorrow. Okay. Sure. Well, we can help or just say, no, we have better things to do with our time. Let's help them. See? That's why you just help them. That's all. What was advertised as a few minutes turns out to be an hour or two as you lug large crates full of some foul-smelling liquid from a nearby warehouse into the hold of the ship. At least the captain is relieved that he'll be able to set sail on time, though. He gratefully pays you, but you can't help to think that such menial labor might be beneath you. I don't think so. I think that's fine. Alright. Well, since we are here, I think we need to go back to the Temple of the Great Oak and pass out some blessings. And we'll get to learn what this means today. Oh, good. This was always off of the page, so it's finally fixed. That's good. Devotion. Donate gold to the Temple of the Great Oak to increase the party's devotion. Not entirely sure I would be doing it for that reason. We're doing it because we get some blessings out of it. So we'll start with Oxalis. And I think Ares is going to be the next one, and Ate might hold out. We're going to take a look at what happens here first. Your continued donations have been a true boon to the sanctuary and to the city as a whole. This will surely have a noticeable impact on the city, but rest assured, we could always use additional aid. Yeah, I thought so. Devotion 2, we've increased prosperity by 1. So we're at 4 now. And what happens in the future now, as we increase our devotion, I guess, is what this is being called. Once we get that up to 50, then we'll increase the wealth again. So this is a great way to increase prosperity. And remember, with prosperity, when we retire a mercenary, they will come in up to the level of Gloomhaven wealth. And that's basically a good enough reason as is. So we continue to help the Temple of the Great Oak and Gloomhaven's wealth, then we can bring in the new characters, new mercenaries at higher levels. So we don't have to start at level 1 with them every time. So that's pretty cool, right? Okay, we only need one more. It would be great if we could get that up to wealth 3 before we retire Ares and Oxalis, but I doubt it. Another thing, actually, of course, this is, I think, a very good reason to increase wealth, is every time you increase wealth, there's new items that go to the merchant. New items are unlocked. Right now, we're at level 2 items. Some episodes ago, long ago, we had some new items pour into the shop. So as wealth for Gloomhaven increases, the merchant is able to purchase and sell better and stronger items. So another good reason for it. Okay, well, that's enough talking. I think what we're going to do is, well, let's have Ate go for it too, why not? There. Obviously, with more players, this can increase faster if all of you work together. But at lower counts of players, at 2 players, this increases very slowly. So you kind of, I wish it kind of scaled a little bit better with the number of players you have. But because you can increase the count of players at any time or decrease it from 2 to 4 or 3 in any way, then it's kind of hard to do that. So I understand that they can't really scale it, but it would be nice if there was something, like if there's only 2 characters, then the ability to maybe bless like an extra 5 or something like that. Maybe you don't get another blessing, but you can donate over that. I don't know. Just a thought. It's not going to happen. Maybe a mod in the future will break it, but yeah. Anyway, let's hit back to the map and head to our quest. Our destination today is Frozen Hollow. We're going to be seeing a bunch of enemies we've already seen before, but we are to seek out the Aesther Enchanter in the Copperneck Mountains. This is a core quest. Our objective is to kill all enemies in all rooms, the enemies being frost demons, hounds, and living spirits. So again, we need ways to get through that shield, but if you remember in the last episode, Oxalis basically could get through all shield just by making the enemies suffer damage. So I'm not too worried about these living spirits now with Oxalis. The Hound and Frost Demons do have retaliation, so we want to be hitting them mostly with ranged attacks. However, that said, I'm not entirely sure. I guess I could drop Eye for an Eye for something like warding strength, because pushing the enemy away from you removes that retaliation. They have to be in the hex adjacent to you after the attack is done, and then retaliation kicks in. If you push them away, there is no retaliation. So I might do something like that. Actually, I'm going to drop Trample for warding strength. And I think that's it. We don't really need the pierce, and I think the warding strength is going to be much better against these enemies. For Oxalis, I think we're all set. And Ate, I believe, is all set as well. Yep, okay. Well, let's go.
An enchanter has been called for, so an enchanter must be found. Following reports of an Aesther in the Boiler District, you find yourself standing before an abandoned and decrepit tavern, the Crooked Bone. Opening the door, the inside looks exactly as the outside advertised. Spider webs, splintered stools, and dusty, broken glass. Stepping past the threshold, a translucent female suddenly appears before you. Why have you come to this place, mercenaries? Your presence is unwanted, and you're disrupting my research. You quickly explain why you have come, and the woman's frown deepens. Oh, look at the Aesther woman. She can fulfill all our wishes. All she has to do is wave her hands and our wildest dreams will come true. She sighs in frustration, and actually does wave her hands. You don't move. She stares. Well, instead of disrupting, then maybe you could help. Scratch my back, maybe I'll scratch yours. That's how these things work, right? The woman turns and walks towards a destroyed set of stairs, but after a few steps, she fades away entirely. I need an orb from the frozen hollow in the Copperneck Mountains. The woman's voice comes from directly in front of you, as if she hadn't moved at all. Bring it back to me, and I may help you. A map drops at your feet. My name is Hale, by the way. Do not come back without the orb.
All right, Hale. She is amazing. She's very fun. But she does ask a lot of us. The encounter, you see a lone man walking toward you on the road. As you meet on the path, he turns to you and begins to speak. Oi there. I wouldn't suppose you lot might spare me some coin, he asks. A lot of coin, actually. You look at him quizzically as he continues. You see, I lead a lot of thieves and bandits in this area, and we gotta make sure all the mouths are fed. At this, a large number of bandits come out of hiding around you, emerging from the bushes. So about that coin, the man says with a smile, 5 gold per head ought to do it. No, we'll be able to handle ourselves, I think. Unfazed by the ambush, you draw your weapons and attack the bandits in the bushes. The leader tries to withdraw, but you cut him down as well. There are a lot of bandits, but they don't put up too much of a fight. They seem weak and malnourished. You guess the leader wasn't kidding about needing to buy food. So each character starts the next scenario suffering 3 damage. Could be a lot worse. We have ways of healing.
The map is easy to follow. Deep in the Copperneck Mountains, obscured by snowdrifts, you find the opening to a dark, narrow cave. The wolf tracks around the entrance are troubling, but with a firm resolve, you enter.
Dynamo, or Pacifist. I think we could go for Dynamo. I'd rather kill... I don't want to be limited on how many monsters I kill, so let's go for Dynamo. I might be able to do that with the Living Spirit, because it only has 2 health with the 2 shield, but because I have the axe, then if I make it an attack 5 plus 5, you know, a 10 would definitely be enough to take that out. So I think that one would be okay. Protector, nobody exhausts or kill 5 or more, we'll go Protector. And Ate, kill 1 or more elites. take only long rest. Let's go for the long rest. Alright. Let's do this. This here is something important. You can only ever have 10 blessings in play. There's our damage. Round 1. Let's take a look along the map here. We have 1, 2 normals and 2 elite hounds, and then a normal and an elite living spirit back here. 1 obstacle in the middle, which we could throw. Whoops, I keep pressing the wrong button. Is it tab? There it is. And okay, I was just trying to see traps. There's another obstacle. And then we have another V-shape corridor. A lot of V's going on, aren't there? V to kind of moderate-sized room back there, medium-sized. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do for round 1. Starting things off with Oxalis, with unstable upheaval for the initiative, and clear the way so that we can pick this up and either throw it here or back there. Not entirely sure, but we'll want to make an attack against 3 of them. Then, Ares the Brute. Eye for an eye for that retaliate, and brute force to move up and get a shield. That way I'll be kind of pinning Cragheart over here. Probably will take 1 attack, and then the rest will have to go onto the brute Ares. And then Ate, swift bow, and flintlock to move up. We'll see who we're going to be hitting. So a lot of movement, but their attacks aren't too bad, which is good. And they're not moving, so we don't really have to worry about them. So we'll do this. Pick this up. And I say we put it right there. I think that's a good place, because then we could, whichever enemy stands here, we could punch them into it after. I think that looks like a good idea. I'll wait for that. Okay. All right. Brute's turn. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it here. I'd have to use the boots to go there, and I'm not too interested in that. And I'll use the potion now. And retaliate. And the doomed compass, not a good reason to use it here. Nice. Perfect. Great. Off to a good start here. 2 health, 5, and 6. I thought actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I could only move 4. Okay, I think the cursor was on that. I was pretty sure that I'd be surrounded back here, but that's alright. That's okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll just move straight up to there. We'll use the swift bow against this one. For that reason. Is she gonna start every scenario pulling that ×2 first? That's pretty incredible. Okay, round 2. And first up is Ares with Provoking Roar for the initiative and movement, and Leaping Cleave to potentially kill both of those. That would be nice. Then is Oxalis, Rumbling Advance and Heaving Swing. I'm going to punch you into that obstacle, hoping that kills him, and then Rumbling Advance for that move 2, +2 from the boots, and then deal a couple damage, or 1 damage each for them. We should be able to take care of them in the next round easily with Oxalis. And then the Scoundrel, Ate, just going very late. I'm not going to be doing much with her. Just getting over here is probably what I'm going to be doing. I could actually try and pick up some of the loot. I don't really know what I would use for that, though. Yeah, we'll think about it. So, this is an issue, but as long as they're both dead, then we won't have to deal with these major attacks here. They're going to attack at range, but both of them will be against Oxalis because it'll be over there. No stun because of the there's no ice. Now, of course, this is kind of why I wish these things were out in front in the open, because I don't really look over here very often, and maybe I just need to get in that habit. But it would also be nice. All mercenaries start with 3 extra -1 attack modifiers. So we're going to be seeing some minus attacks there. Okay, just gotta keep that in mind, I guess. If I pull them here, I guess that'll be okay. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Okay. I'm gonna move over here. I think Ares will pick this up next round, and we'll just get moving with Ate instead. Not terrible. Okay, here we go. Okay. Well, I don't think I'm going to be walking over there now. I'm just going to do this to kill this one now. It's an elite, so it gives him some another point there, which is he needs 2 more. Yikes. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I think we're going to walk over to here. Nah. I'll just perform this attack, and if something happens, cool. If not, then so be it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Because Oxalis now can just do Rock Slide, and if he drops it here, then it'll deal it'll deal 2 damage to them. They will suffer 2 damage each. That will leave this one alive, but we can figure out something for it later, I guess. So for round 3, we'll start off with a flurry of blades and smoke bomb. I'm going to try to deal some damage to this, but not too much that it dies. So we can have advantage and then just do like a normal attack against it. So if I pull it ×2, then it would only be 1 damage. I'm just grabbing for anything at this point. I didn't really know what else to do with her, because I don't want her to kill either of them. But I'm kind of trying to kill this one quickly with Oxylus. So he's going to walk up and rock slide, which would kill this one and potentially kill this one if we get any damage from the scoundrel. Not sure. And then grab and go and skewer just to, you know, grab this money and go. Let's use Juggernaut for that instead. Okay. Just a couple of attacks. I was really hoping, but it's okay. So we should probably grab a card. I think I'm fine with what I've got though, so we'll let it go. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to kill it. So that's unfortunate. We'll have to see what happens. That was good. What are our next cards here? Yeah, let's use the boots. Okay, round 4. Alright, enough's enough. Ares, go handle this. So we'll move in with 15 initiative and unstoppable charge. That should do dynamo, and then that will, well, as long as he lands it, which he has some pretty decent chances in there. Even a -1 would help. That would kill it. Cragheart, Oxylus, Earthing Clod, and Massive Boulder will go in and open that door. And sorry, with the move 4. And then Earthing Clod to make sure that one of the enemies doesn't move. But before, I guess it's probably going to be you that opens this door, isn't it? We'll see what happens. We'll just see what happens. Oh no, okay. For some reason I thought I saw, I don't know what I thought I saw. 86, 86, that's definitely not what happened. Never mind. Oh, I saw this 86. Maybe, I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's pick up some more gold here. The gold at this point isn't actually going to do anything, because he's probably going to retire, and all gold is lost in a retirement. All items are lost too. They just all go back to the... just gets rid of everything and leaves. So, okay. It said damage 2. I don't know, but we've killed the monster with causing at least 4 more points of damage. That's great, but it won't matter in the end. Okay. So we'll be seeing a retirement after, which is really good. Let's use our boots. Holy moly! Oh, okay, there's another one right there. Wow, that looks pretty scary. Immobilize. Okay, they're not moving, and you are going to move and make a pretty weak attack. But 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. So as long as I don't go here, you're fine. So we'll just move in one more. And I'll make this attack using this against you. It won't matter anyway, because they're not going to be moving, but dealing some damage is our major concern here. And staying out of range of their damage is also pretty nice. Okay. Yep, well, we'll move in. And, yep, I kind of expected that. I should have moved over here, I guess. Whatever. That's too bad. Now, what card do we want? We definitely want to take a card. Because she wants to take long rest only. Flanking strike. So maybe single out. Or we could go for something like... We could go for something like Flurry of Blades, too, so that we can start dealing a whole bunch of damage. Yeah, well, let's go for Flurry of Blades. We'll be going really early, but we'll move up to here and then go attack, attack, attack with Flurry of Blades, and then we can just have somebody else move up in front of her, I guess. Round 5. I guess it won't be you. You're just going to move up a couple. And Dirt Tornado would be good now. But I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be going early enough. So we're just going to have to see. Yeah, 51 is not fast enough. That's a lot of incoming damage. 1, 2, 3. 1. Yeah, so they are all going to be able to attack. But not you. A 4, a 3, and a 3. I mean, where we're standing is pretty bad anyway. They're going to be attacking... They're going to be attacking her, all 3 of them, unless we stand right where we are. I could move up and gain advantage and potentially kill you if I pulled something good. I guess I could use advantage with this, but it's not going to be enough anyway. Or they're all going to attack him, and that's the problem. It doesn't matter if I move up. So I guess I'm just gonna have to do it this way. Let's move up to here. Yeah, I guess this is what I have to do. And just kiss one of these attacks goodbye. Yep. We'll just make the attacks... Well, we'll do Eagle Eye Goggles, sure. ×2 and a +2. That way both of them will attack her and this big one will attack him. Or I could try to save the day and drop Skewer. Didn't I use the axe? Did I click on it? I did, didn't I? So he didn't actually... I don't think he did. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna burn a card and make this attack here. Screw it, or skewer it. Well, let's make this attack here. I think I messed something up. And I won't know until later, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll just move that way. Okay. No attacks. Round 6. Let's take a long rest. You take a long rest. And I guess we'll take a long rest with you too. Let's just take long rests all around. Okay, they're not going to do anything anyway. And that's not that big of a deal. Got lucky there, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I used it. I'll know in editing. Let's get rid of Ifern. Maybe not now, actually. Let's get rid of Provoking Roar. The disarm isn't going to do much because they're going to retaliate anyway, so... And with you, let's drop Crushing Grasp. And with you, we'll drop... Yeah, let's drop that. Okay. I know it's a great card, but... whatever. Too late. I've been using her more as a ranged attacker anyway, so... Those aren't the greatest attacks, but... Okay. Round 7. We're going first with Ate Backstab to go early, single out for an attack, a major attack against this one. Probably won't be killing it, but we'll be able to deal a lot of damage. Then Oxalis with Unstable Upheaval for the initiative, and Heaving Swing to attack and push into the obstacle. And then I've got Leaping Cleave and Unstoppable Charge for that same attack against this. And I'm hoping that I use this, and if I didn't, then I get to use it again, and we should be fine. Okay. Luckily, they haven't been infusing ice, because you can see they get pretty strong with ice. But on this turn, you know, the frost demons, they would be confused. They would be consuming ice, so it wouldn't be available for the living spirit later. Okay. I think I'm going to use the boots to jump over, though. Yep. Just so we can get moving, continue to get moving. Skip the movement from here, and we'll use our eagle eye goggles to make sure that this hits. With a ×2, that is. Nice. Alright, that's great. I think I'll do that again over here. Another ×2. There we go. And yeah, we'll go pick up some loot. Whoops. Doesn't mean anything for him at this point, but or doesn't mean much. I guess if he kills a bunch of elites and retires, then it won't mean anything at all. But I don't think he'll be retiring right now anyway. Okay. There. So we know we used it this time. And it still doesn't increase, like, live. It'll increase when we get back to Gloomhaven, I guess. But this time it is darkened out, so I'm going to assume that I did use it this time, and I didn't use it the last time. But of course, I will see later. Okay, round 8. I think this is pretty easy. We're going to, whoops, we're going to maybe pick some of this up and head to the door. That's about it. So let's do something like that. We'll do eye for an eye and grab and go, and we'll just run into this room and see about doing as much retaliation as possible. You do need some healing, though, so maybe we'll go late. That way we can have Oxalis heal you first, and then we'll just take... let's move to here with basically anything. That way I can use Rock Slide to show you that from back here. That'll be cool, right? Or maybe I can just heal. I can do it that way. And then, so we'll do that. Oh, I guess I don't want that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Flintlock, I guess we can pick up some loot while we're on our way over there. Okay. So let's heal you up. You're going in there. You don't want anybody to become exhausted. There you go, buddy. Okay, let's see what's behind door number 2. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 living spirits. 1, I can barely see it. Everything's kind of white and blue. 1 frost demon elite. And then 2 of these guys. And they're going to be piercing too. That's Pierce, and that's Pierce. That's pretty nasty. There's a trap there, a trap here. There's stun traps, and then there's the treasure chest. I love this though. This looks great. I like that. They did a great job with the art in this game. I mean, the attacks aren't that bad, actually, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's just put him right in the middle of it. I could actually use this to make sure that you do not attack. Oh, you know what? That is perfect. I'm gonna walk him right into that stun trap. There. Oh man, they're gonna get rid of all of this. Ah. Okay. Well, there's one. As if they pull another, I really wanted to have the armor for these. Okay, I'll have one for one of the attacks. Man, that's unfortunate. Oh wow. Come on, no. Please don't. That's better. Alright, Scoundrel's turn. Round 9. And this one is stunned still? Okay, round 9. And we're going with Ate first, Flurry of Blades, and Hidden Daggers. So we'll have an advantage and the initiative to attack 2 enemies at range 3 with attack 4 and advantage. So standing, you know, maybe here and then attacking these 2. I want to kind of take these out. Otherwise, I could maybe focus on the Frost Demon back there. We'll have to take a look. And then the Brute. Ares with Shield and Brute Force. Maybe we can take those 2 out with that. And then Shield up. Oxalis going last with Massive Boulder for the movement and Rock Slide to start throwing some more obstacles around that room, potentially killing 1 or 2 or 3 of these. We'll have to see what's left over and where they're standing, of course. Okay, so we should be taking care of them, and you're stunned. And we're going to see some curses, a lot of curses, and we're getting ice too. Okay, a lot of stuff coming in this round. Nope, let's go in. All the way. Nope, nope, nope. We're gonna go right there. You'll kind of see why here in a second. So we will target you, and I'll target you. I was really hoping for a ×2 there, but I'll take it. There. I could have moved over here, I guess. Okay. Right here. Good. That worked out pretty well. I don't need the shield anymore. Oh, no, and I don't want to stand there. So I'll go here. Wonderful. Just great. Okay. Here he comes to save the day. One here. One there. That will kill you and those two. And it doesn't matter if I even drop the other one at all. Just throw it back there, sure. Look at all of that. Yep. Round 10. Okay. I know there were only like a couple of cards per, but I wanted to plan this out because I'm going to pick up all of this gold and I don't want this to die yet. So what I'm going to do is, because I want to get this treasure chest. So what I'm going to do is the two cards that we have for Oxalis, I'm going to use this just so that we don't have to worry about any incoming damage, and warding strength is just going to go away. Then we have Swift Bow for Ate to pick up some of this loot, and Throwing Knives, probably not even going to do it. And then Oxalis with Clear the Way to remove some obstacles that are in the way, and Dirt Tornado for another XP and to muddle an attack. Okay, well, you're not going to be doing much anyway, so that's good. Oh, you are healing, though. What was that? It did something on all of the obstacles I pushed. That was strange. Okay. So no incoming damage. I wasn't going to be able to do anything anyway, but... And now let's pick up some loot. And now that it did heal, let's make an attack. It's good. And let's jump through this. Break, break, break. This will open up some more loot. There was loot right there. Yep. We can make this attack. We might as well just put everything I got here, I guess. No. Let's not use that. Because if I do and I pull it ×2, then it's over. Yep. I pulled a +2. It wouldn't have been enough, but it's better this way. Okay. Round 11. Just take a long rest. Take a long rest. And... do something like that. I might just use Crater to jump over and pick up that treasure chest. Yep. I do want them to be attacking him, but I guess he's retiring anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. Confirm here. And jump over here. $20 gold. I wish I sent Ate over there. That's okay. Alright. Round 12. So let's pick up all this gold. And I'll do that with a Throwing Knives with loot 2 will give me these 3 piles of loot. And then I can just use Swift Bow to make the attack Oh, but it's an elite, so let's not do that. Yeah, let's not. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to take a short rest with you, and I definitely want you to be the one killing it then. So we'll go early, and I can just use that to do it, to kill. And I guess it doesn't really matter what else I do here, so I'll just do that. So we'll just walk up. This will give Ares an XP, but as I said before, it's not really that necessary, so. But whatever. Just having some fun here. So yeah, loot, sure. And I dropped the loot, didn't I? Oh man. Lots of blunders in this episode, I guess, in this scenario.
With the last of your adversaries dead, you approach the back of the chamber, where a small blue sphere floats above the floor. You slowly reach out your hand and find the orb cold to the touch. With a firm grip on it, the temperature is almost unbearable, but you quickly stash it into your pack and make your way back to the crooked bone.
All right. Well, as I said, some of this stuff isn't going to be really useful for the brute in particular. He picked up some loot. He picked up the most loot, apparently, tied with Ate. But we'll be seeing a retirement, and I'm going to do all of that right now. I'm not going to wait till the next episode, so you get to see it. I think you guys deserve it at this point. So, not too bad. Scoundrel pretty much watched them fight, as per usual. Well, I guess it's about 50-50. The Scoundrel can be extremely helpful in fighting, but can also be role-played in a way that just runs around and looting, as was said in the comments section a couple episodes ago. But yeah, in this case, pretty much just watched the fight happen. Did some damage, though. The Brute took a lot of damage, dealt a lot of damage, and Cragheart somewhere in the middle. Although, I guess killed the most enemies. You can see that those living spirits are basically nothing compared to the abilities of the Cragheart. So, alright. Let's see what we get when we return back to Gloomhaven. I'm excited for this.
You enter the abandoned tavern and call out to Hale. With no response, you wander around, observing the chaotic mess around you. You wonder how she gets any work done in this environment. As you approach the counter, Hale appears before you, holding the orb. Very interesting. She doesn't seem to notice you at all. A rift in our plane, somehow contained within a spherical barrier. Good thing you didn't break this on your way back.
Thanks. Could have told us what we were going to get.
You easily could have been sucked into a realm of pure frost and been frozen solid before you had time to breathe. Or something worse could have happened. It's just so confounding. Who would have the power to do this? Hale takes a step to the left and disappears again. You wait for what feels like hours, refusing to sit on the few stools that haven't yet fallen apart. You call out occasionally, but receive no response. Oh, you're still here. You turn around to see Hale in the middle of the room. Good. I'd like to experiment on you if it's all right. She reaches out to you and you stumble backward, falling over a table that splinters into hundreds of pieces. Oh, don't be a baby about it. I'm pretty sure it will end well.
She's great, right?
Hale explains that she wants to try to bring forth raw power from another plane and contain it in a small orb that could give enhanced powers to anyone possessing it. The containment process, however, requires a lot of gold metal.
Oh, strange. What would an Aesther want with all that gold, honestly?
Now that you have helped me in my endeavors, I suppose I should return the favor, Hale sighs. So, what was it exactly that you wanted?
So we've unlocked the Enchantress. Now, if you saw the Guildmaster campaign, or if you've played Gloomhaven, you know what this is. This is very exciting. 8 XP each. Let's see what happens now. Forgotten Crypt is unlocked. Okay. Oh, that's it? I was hoping for some fireworks, or I don't know. Okay, Ares has accomplished his personal quest and has no more motivation to go exploring monster-filled ruins. Fantastic. Announce retirement. Oh, okay. This is Ares speaking. It's worse than you thought. Even with the axe, the undead scourge have simply grown too strong. There's nothing else you can do from here, because its disease runs deeper than one city. After thanking your fellow mercenaries, you leave Gloomhaven to hunt down the true source of this dark necromancy. You only hope another will fight for light in this city, as you bring it into the darkness beyond. There we go. Scenario win rate, that's cool to see. Healing done, 92. Exhaustions, enemies killed, damage done, that's great. I'm excited to see how much Ate is going to be in some of these categories. Enhancements, we're about to get that. This is way too bad that we didn't get this in time for him to use the enhancements. Perks, 5 ability cards, gold, ended with 66 at a level 4. Barely, almost level 5. But because we have fulfilled a personal quest, 1, we unlock a new character, and 2, prosperity increases. So as I said, we needed 1 more prosperity. So because somebody has retired, prosperity is now 3, I think, or the wealth is now 3. Yep. And there's the new designs that we can purchase, so we can take a look. Yeah, we're not going to be seeing them here. And we can also have a second enhancement. So we can have 2 enhancements now, I believe, total across the cards that we carry into. Well, we can have like 10 enhancements, okay? But you can only go into a scenario with 2 enhancements. We'll see. Or enchantments, enhancements. Oh no! Okay, well, We've killed 20 elites with Oxalis too, so another retirement. This is huge. They used to laugh at you, the little guy, the oddball, the one they looked down on, called names. This is certainly perfect for the Cragheart. If you know the background of the Cragheart, what he's been through, the trials and tribulations, and still failed at becoming a powerful Savas, then this is perfect. I think this personal quest was meant for him. No one thought you could have battled the creatures you did, that behemoths would ever fall at your whim. The arrogant have paid for their crimes. You have proven to Gloomhaven that small can be mighty, and now you can return to your life, knowing none would dare insult you again. Something tells you, though, that you won't be the last of the short, strange-looking warriors in the city. No, you will not. Okay, I've already forgotten everything that that happened for Ares, but here we are. Almost made it to level 5 again, and because another retirement happened, we've increased prosperity yet again. And yes, all items the mercenary owned will return to the merchant's shop supply, and all the gold the character has will be gone. So, and there's nothing you can do about this, by the way, people. It's done. And now we have a spoiler alert. I didn't know what was going to happen for when I clicked claim rewards last time. But here's the spoiler alert for what we call 2 minis in the board game, or the Phoenix might be another thing to call it, the character class. Oh yeah, well we already knew that.
After a phlegmatic farewell with one of the band's most determined mercenaries, you find yourself wondering if others may have shaped Gloomhaven's future, only to leave the city. You have heard of a town records building in the Coin District, but never visited. Deciding that it would be the best place to satiate your curiosity, you make your way to the large, circular structure in the heart of the district. Stepping through the arched doorway of the town records building, you see it houses a massive yet woefully understocked library. A sinking feeling takes hold of your gut as you take in the barren shelves. You don't want the memory of your departed colleague to die with you inside one of Gloomhaven's dungeons. With an idea brewing in your mind, you search for one of the record keepers in the library. It takes a considerable while, but eventually you happen upon a small man meticulously rearranging what few books are on the shelves. You waste no time relaying your great idea to him.
Awesome. Awesome. I've been super excited for all of this to happen. So when you retire your first mercenary, you unlock what is called the Town Records book. This is an actual book that comes in the board game, and you get to kind of read up to a certain point, and then there's a kind of locked symbol that says don't read until blah 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 happens. So there is a story that unfolds about about Gloomhaven without going into it. So we can look at the narrative here. We can look at the town records, the mercenary log. We'll do that now. And this is a great way that we can take a look at all of the mercenaries. And I guess... okay, it says retired right next to their name. Okay, good. So Ate is still going. She's going to have a lot more. Obviously, she's going to be retiring much later. So Ares and Oxalis, you can see how they've compared. Not too bad. Cool. Let's open up the narrative.
You walk into the town records building and are immediately struck by how different it looks. It might just be the lighting, but there seem to be more books on the shelves and less of a scowl on Dominic's face. The short, bearded man approaches you. "Ah, how good of you to come," he says. "No doubt to record the further exploits of your friends. I was most assuredly derisive of your motives when you first walked in here, but I must say that the idea has grown on me a little." Dominic slaps you on the back, then wanders around behind the counter. "Whether you like it or not, you are becoming important fixtures of this community, and I'm sure that I have you to thank, at least in some small way, for the increased number of books lining the shelves." He waves his arms about, his hands barely visible beneath his robe's long sleeves. They're not good books, mind you, but they're books nonetheless.
Okay, I'm not judging.
"Plus," he says with a small smile, "I've had more time to work on my own tome." Dominic opens the small collection of parchment he has been working on and passes it to you. "I'm still focused on the big picture right now, but I should have more soon. I thought you might be interested in hearing it." Though human expansion has not always been greeted with kindness and civility by other races, currently humans are more or less at peace with their neighbors. After a costly peace treaty with the Valras to the south and an understanding with the prominent Inox tribes, the only main threats are the animalistic vermlings who continue to assault human cities, sometimes for no discernible reason. Humans have mostly stayed away from Harrower territory out of fear, and the Harrowers seem to return the favor. The same goes for the Savas, who live underground in the largely uninhabitable mountainous regions in the north. Orchids and quattrels both come from far-off continents across the sea and seem far more interested in commerce and cultural exchange than conquest.
So if you haven't figured it out yet, these are all of the types of beings within the Gloomhaven universe. Orchids, Savas, quattrels, vermling, human, Valrath, Enox, or Inox, whatever. But there is another one. They haven't said it yet, so maybe we'll come across that.
And so human society has certainly benefited culturally from its interaction with other races. Many of the most beautiful structures in human civilization would not be possible without the machinery of the quattrels, the elemental mastery of the Savas, and the architectural designs of the Valraths. The meditative orchids have even influenced a number of human religions, though the followers of the Great Oak, a stringent group who believe a giant tree housed in the center of the capital watches over and protects everyone, remain unchanged. And while the human military keeps the civilization alive, it is really the commerce with the other races that ultimately allows the civilization to flourish. It seems then, as the wilds grew tamer, that a paradigm shift away from militaristic rule and towards mercantile rule was only a matter of time.
And we were part of that. We were part of that.
Like I said, I'm still working on the broader strokes, Dominic says, but my research has been providing some interesting information. It's all very vague at the moment, though. I need to find better sources, not just Savas howling poems. He takes back the book and frowns. Savas write the worst poetry, and it's incredibly hard to translate. So, you want to start some sort of record of all the mercenaries who've moved on from Gloomhaven? The short, bearded man asks with a scowl. Sounds a little arrogant to me, but I'm sure I've got a spare record book somewhere in the stacks. He puts down his pen into the spine of the book he was inking and steps out from behind the counter at the front of the town records building. I'll be back in a bit. Don't steal anything. He gets in one more good scowl before turning and walking towards the back of the building, nearly tripping on his overly long robe multiple times. As he slips behind one of the many shelves of books, your attention shifts to the building itself. The Town Records building is a large, circular structure on the west side of the coin district. Built as a status symbol for the town of wealthy merchants, anyone who actually enters can quickly see that the massive library is woefully understocked. Some sections, such as the teachings and philosophies of the Great Oak, are reasonably full, but many others have just a handful of books occupying long, barren shelves. Perhaps this was why some of your merchant friends were so adamant about you taking a trip to the Town Records building in the first place. Recording your party's exploits creates more content to fill these empty halls. With this in mind, your thoughts turn to the open book directly in front of you, the one the clerk was working on. There are two texts on the counter, and it looks as if the clerk was in the process of transcribing the writing of one into the other. Looking more closely, however, you notice the titles are different. The complete book is titled The Rise of Human Civilization, while the other is titled The History of Gloomhaven by Dominic Scrim. Intrigued, you begin to read what he was writing.
So I'm pretty sure I've unlocked a couple things here, so just... We're getting there.
At some point thousands of years ago, humans stopped hiding in caves and began to form societies out in the open, erecting modest farming villages that eventually grew into the massive, sprawling cities we see today. Living out in the open was never easy, though. There were wars, both amongst themselves and with other races, such as the Valraths to the south. More troubling, however, were the constant raids from the more barbaric races of the world. Inox and Vermling tribes, who had no concept of peace and wanted only to kill and destroy. Walls were always necessary, as were the armed men who guarded those walls. For this reason, the civilization of man grew and developed under a militaristic rule. Those skilled in warfare held the highest positions in society and governed from a perspective of keeping their charges safe from outside attacks. While this regime of strength kept the human race alive and functioning, it did stagnate the growth of other cultural facets of society. What the civilization lacked in culture, though, it made up for with rapid expansion and settlements spreading out from the north to every corner of the continent. This created a strong foothold to ensure that humans would continue to prosper and never again have to go back to hiding in caves. Best to start at the beginning, eh? Dominic now stands before you with a small amount of leather-bound parchment. I found this in the back. It should do well for your purposes, but I see you've found something as well. He shifts his feet a bit and hands you the parchment. Most people see Gloomhaven as some backwoods caravan stop, he says, in an accusatory tone. A necessary evil in the middle of a deadly wilderness. But I disagree. I love Gloomhaven, and I believe its history needs to be documented. I think this town plays a far more important role in the history of this continent than anyone realizes, and I'm going to prove it. Dominic flashes a brief nervous smile, and then grabs up the two books on the counter. But it's not finished yet, not by a long shot. Come back later, and I might have more history to share.
Oof. He's a talker. He is a talker. I mean, okay, this is all, as I said, in book form in the board game. So you kind of read section by section as things become unlocked. I'm not going to discuss, and I don't really care to discuss how things become unlocked. We'll just see them become unlocked later. But I'm pretty sure I have unlocked more than one step or section of the book. That was quite a bit. So my apologies. I hope you enjoyed it. It's kind of giving some history of Gloomhaven and how the humans, I guess, gained their foothold out of the caves. And we'll see more of the history as we unlock more and more in the campaign. So, I think first, let's look at a perk. I've got an available perk here. I think I want to replace a 0 with a +2. Let's keep going with that. Heighten. And, right. Yes, we need at least 2 mercenaries to continue. But I want to show off the Enchantress real quick, because I'm going to only do this with her now, and probably not for the other ones. I'm not sure how much money they come in with. We'll see. So, the Enchantress. This screen allows you to add enhancements to all of your abilities. Select the ability, then the enhancement slot, and then the enhancement you'd like to add to the slot. Be aware that different enhancements cost a different base amount, and that cost is modified by the number of enhancements already on the card and the type of ability it is. When you remove an enhancement, you recover its original cost. Maybe you've been watching these cards and thinking, what's that little dot next to some of these abilities? You can see there's a dot here. She has one on all of her cards, but that's not the case for everybody. Sometimes, like you can see here, there's a move 1, but there's not a dot there. But anyway, so you can move 3, or what we could do is add a plus move to it to make it a, a +1, making it a move 4. We could make it a jump, or we can enhance any movements or attacks with things like bring in elements. In this case, we can have 2 enhancements. So the first enhancement, I'm not going to go too deep into this. You'll just see it as it happens. But the first enhancement costs, we have the base cost here. But we can see that a plus attack is 50, poison is 75, blah, blah, blah. You can see all that there. We can bring in elements if we want. Not necessarily a good thing for scoundrel builds, but maybe we do want to bring in for darkness. But we have 160 gold, and I've been really, really excited about bringing in enhancements to the campaign so I can spend some of this gold, because they are expensive, as you can see. So we can get them all back. That seems weird, but I guess it allows you to play with it. And if you don't like it, you can get rid of it and get something else. Or you can get something like wound, and then you can sell it later once you have more to do disarm instead, if that's something you want. So in this case, I guess we're able to, it gives you the ability to just put as many of these on as you want. And then once you get more gold, you can sell off the ones you didn't like, or ones that you didn't feel were as helpful, to get something more powerful later. Something like that. But as we can see, we can only have, we can have 3 enhancement points. Because wealth 3. Every time Gloomhaven wealth level increases. Yes. So we can only have 3. In this case, we can increase the range too, which is pretty cool. There's one that I did want to show. Okay, in the case of hidden daggers, let's go to flintlock here. Attack +1 is 75. But if you have multiple targets, then it's ×2. So this would become an attack 5 targeting 2, which is pretty powerful, but it's also ×2 the amount, and you can see that with the base cost here. So that's something to keep in mind. Of course, if you're playing along, you can see a lot more than... I'm not going to go over every single one of these, but you'll be able to see more and learn more by yourself anyway. So I'm going to spend some time trying to find something to enhance, trying to find a card or 2 or 3 to enhance for Ate off camera. And I'll do that for the next episode. And for the next episode, we will need a new mercenary. 2 new mercenaries. For the next time, let's do a poll. Let's do 2 polls. I'm going to put out 2 polls after this video goes up. So once again, you have to do it either from your phone or from your computer, but go to my page, my channel page, and find the community tab at the top, and you'll see the polls there. I'm going to put 2 polls up, one for position 1 and one for position 2. And it doesn't really, I guess it doesn't matter too much, but basically what I'm looking for is 2 new mercenaries. Since we've already played with the Brute and the Cragheart, I would like to not bring them back, at least for a very long time. I would really like to unlock all of the characters and play through all of the characters. That would be ideal for me. So here are the choices, and I'll let you kind of see the stats, strengths, weaknesses, and you can make a choice from that. To make this a bit easier for myself, however, I think the polls are going to be broken up into more of a tanky character and more of a healy or support kind of character, because I have somebody that, like the Scoundrel already, is somebody that can deal a lot of damage with a lot of mobility. So we have our thief kind of class. So I would like to have somebody that can be a little tanky, and another to be a bit more supporty. Spellweaver is going to go up for grabs in position 2. Tinkerer is going up for position 2. And for the position 1, we're going to see either the Sunkeeper or the Beast Tyrant. Now this is 2 minis. The one thing I will say about any of them, this one is 2 minis because we have the Vermling and his pet bear. So it's still considered a summons, so it's going to act on its own, but we can also command it to attack and move and do other abilities. Whereas if it doesn't say command, then in this case it would be the Vermling making the attack. Those are the 2 options for position 1, Sunkeeper, Beast Tyrant, position 2, Spellweaver, or Tinkerer. Mind Thief I'm going to leave out as a kind of position 3 type of class. So we'll get to her eventually, but I think she's better as a position 3. That's kind of the way I'm going to think about this moving forward. We have position 1 is the tankier kind of builds. Position 2 is the support and or ranged characters. And position 3 is going to be our more like high mobility and heavy hitters kind of a thing. So, cool. That's how we're going to leave it. I'm also going to wait until next episode to make an enhancement because I'd like to kind of look at all of the choices and spend some time with that. And we can start the next episode with quite a bit of management and then jump into a fun scenario. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know there was a lot of dialogue, but I think that it's pretty fun. And we're going to be seeing more dialogue later as we unlock characters and retire and perform other quests and things that unlock the storyline of Gloomhaven. And I'm excited about it. Great. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, let me know by leaving a like or a comment. And as always, thanks for stopping by. And I hope to see you next time.